All right. Hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. That is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City. I'm going to say right up front, I don't know if you can hear it, my neighbor's working on his deck. All I hear are power tools. Jake, can you hear him? I hear a buzzsaw right now.
I cannot, but actually you may hear, now that you mentioned that, you may hear some work outside. Last night we were having a storm, and for some reason, manhole covers exploded on my block.
That's
and
awesome.
Like one of them was under a car and lit it the fuck on fire. Dude, it was wild. I'll send you the video after we're done.
Absolutely. You have that's about great. But better to have those manholes blow up outside than your basement where they would flow shit water into your apartment when you lived in the basement.
Oh yeah, I consider that a manhole half full kind of problem. There we go. Look at me spitting sentences out.
All right. We got to address it right up front. We missed our first episode ever. We've done 530 plus episodes. We missed our first episode. Jake, what happened? What happened to Jake?
I may have had too much to drink, fell asleep in the subway platform, and I woke up in the hospital.
But you don't. When we talked, you don't really know what happened. Like, did they call EMTs, or you didn't get rolled? It was. This is like actual good concern to citizens, right?
I don't know. I mean, it was probably just cops down there because good concerned citizens just leave people alone in the subway. That's kind of the unwritten rule. Unless they're literally unless I passed out on the track, people aren't going to get involved.
Because if you're on the track, you're fucking up their timeline. Hey, I got to get home. Let's get this guy off the track.
Exactly. They don't want me fucking up their own commutes. That's the way the city works.
How was the hospital? Good nap?
It was pretty good. Here's the thing. When you wake up drunk in the hospital, you're still pretty drunk. So you're just kind of going with it. You're like, well, I guess this happened now. But I don't know what you're like, I don't know what the story is, but I know it's probably booze related because I am fucking trashed right now.
Isn't that the way people should be in life, though? If it's depending on, like, you just sort of wake up and go with the flow, like, oh, something's different. Well, I'm not going to be belligerent. I'm just going to, let's just see where this goes.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, I got to get a hold of my wife immediately because I know she's going to be pissed. And I didn't have my phone on me. And like, I'm in hospital clothes and shit. Like, I'm hooked up to stuff.
Your phone is somewhere in personal belongings.
It's somewhere. Yeah. And it's busy in there. You know, it's in Manhattan. There's a lot of people there. And so I'm just going to ask, like, hey, can I get my phone? And they keep going, oh, yeah, you got to wait to talk to the doctor. And of course, the doctor's just not coming. You know,
doctor's dealing with real people. You're just sobering up. Doctor's like gunshot wound.
Here's the thing. So was all the people around me. It was me and a bunch of fucking homeless people.
Which you're going to be once your wife gets sick of you.
That was about what the vibe was like in there.
We've got a delay thing going on. I was saying that you were surrounded by homeless people, which is what you're going to be when your wife is fed up with your drunken nonsense.
Yeah, wow, we are lagging bad. We actually may want to start it. Let me restart my computer and let's start this.
Well, we'll just pick it up from here. I'll just do an edit. All right, round two. We just cut it off. Jake was having internet issues or computer issues. We talked about his stay in the hospital. Let's jump into the news, shall we, Jake?
Yeah, let's do it.
Where are my stories? Where do you want to start? Let's start right here. My Pillow guy auctions off equipment after retailers pull its products. I do not know how to feel about this one. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of people are celebrating it. Ha ha, he's going broke. Fuck him. He's a multimillionaire. He'll be fine. I kind of feel bad for the people that work for him. I mean, this guy built an empire and he employs people. He's rich. He's going to walk away just fine. If he has to, he'll declare bankruptcy on the business. I'm sure he has money stashed in the Caymans. And yeah, I feel bad for the guys losing their jobs. I feel bad for the workers, unless they all subscribe to his ideology, then fuck him, but fuck them. But I mean, if they're just trying to earn a paycheck and they're like, dude, will you just shut the fuck up with all this January 6th election fraud nonsense?
Well, yeah, I don't think people take warehouse jobs based on like, wait a minute, how do they feel about QAnon and what they have to say about the Clintons? I mean, because I ain't getting on a forklift for anybody who thinks that Nancy Pelosi was actually Speaker of the House. It was a lizard the whole time. I'm only driving forklifts for people who would confirm that. Yeah,
Exactly.
like you just take any job you can.
Yeah. So you got to feel bad for him. I mean, the rich always walk away unscathed. It's what they do, unless they're heading down to see the Titanic. Otherwise, they walk away unscathed.
Right, right. I think I don't feel that bad for the workers because I think they're going to keep working at that factory. Here's the thing. I think that factory just ends up doing something else. And they're like, oh, you already have a staff, you already have and it's not like for the most part, if you're taking like a warehouse job there, you can transfer that to a warehouse job someplace else as long as there's one available in that area. Who I feel bad for is like middle management. You know what I mean? I feel bad for the people that were getting rich in this company. And I've been saying that the whole time since this guy became in the news. I feel bad for the people who were getting fucking rich and they're going like, dude, I'm riding this guy's coattails and I'm getting fucking rich selling pillows. Oh my God, he won't shut up about internet conspiracies. Holy shit, he wants people to storm the Capitol. Like those are the people who I feel really bad for. It's sort of like with the J.K. Rowling thing. I feel bad for not like Daniel Radcliffe. He's also got a lot of money. I feel bad for like Jerry Potter, Harry Potter's cousin, who was only in like number 7. It's like that guy needed the royalties and now he's not getting them. So I feel bad for the My Pillow guys middle management because they kind of just like they got to yes man him. They
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
just got
They
to
can't challenge him.
no. And he didn't start that shit all at once because he did build this into a multi-million dollar empire out of nothing. And so, the board meetings used to go, hey guys, let's talk pillows and making more money with these goddamn pillows, and then it was mostly that, but he'd be like, and also that's pretty cool that Trump won, huh? But back to pillows, right? So it starts like that. And then it just like now half the meeting, he won't shut up about this fucking political agenda. It's sort of like, at a lot of corporate, like hands-on deck meetings that I go to, it's like the CEO will just kind of talk about like really progressive stuff. Like we're going to talk about voting rights in Georgia and how fucked up it is what's happening down there. It's like, hey, you run a radio company. Like, what do you, I mean, it does suck, but like we've been talking about this for 10 minutes now, and so it probably it started off, he would just make little jokes about Pelosi or something, and then it would be about pillows about 98% of the time. And then it got to about like, a quarter of the times him babbling about politics, and then half and half. And then pretty much, eventually it turned into what it is now. Like, all right, monthly meeting for My Pillow. This is what Q has said since the last meeting about what the hell we're going to do to take the country. And it's like, dude, we're like 30 minutes into the meeting. He hasn't even mentioned pillows or marketing once. This is fucked.
Or even, I hear your scenario, and I bet that is the way it started. I am guessing at some point it became where he was just off touring around the country. Hey, I got to talk about QAnon. And he left someone else in charge. And the guy in charge is like, okay, he's gone. He took his batshit crazy. He's
Right.
off, doing meetings. Let's focus on pillows. Oh, fuck. Now nobody's buying them because he's out there shooting off his goddamn mouth. Like the person that once he went off on his quest to save America, the guy that was like, okay, good. Now we can just get on track with pillows and no one's buying them anymore.
Yeah. I think we're starting to lag bad again, but
Yeah, we
that's
are.
all right.
I can see when you respond, but
it is what it is. But
I do
yeah.
like the fact that when he gets sued, he did. I forgot about that. It's at the bottom of the article. We've talked about it. He said, if you can prove that my proof that there was election fraud is wrong, I will pay you $5 million. And a guy went, all right, here it is. And arbitration court said, yeah, he proved you wrong. And now Lindell is fighting that, like a personal $5 million loss. I think that's funny because that's on him. The company losing money is kind of funny, but I feel bad for the people that are getting fucked sideways
Right.
beside of it.
Here's what you do. Guy who's taken over for this guy, the hand of the king, the hand of my pillow guy who has no political agenda other than making a lot of money with pillows. What you got to do, you know how we said that instead of backtracking on the Dillo Mulvaney
The
thing,
Bud Light.
Bud Light should have just got a smaller beer company and been
Anchor
like
Steam is up for
anti-trans
grabs.
with them, but pro-trans with Bud Light. Yeah, it's what he needs to do is just get another pillow company and with the same warehouse and the same equipment. Is you then get an investor, an angel investor to buy this equipment that he's auctioning off, and then you have my company, my pillow, and then their pillow. You do their pillow.
I can't think of his name right now, but he's out of it. The one of the kids from Parkland was going to market a pillow to directly compete with my pillow guy and made a big stink. Like, we're going to have progressive pillows. We're going to do this. And it failed, or he got into a bad
pillows.
What's that?
Hog pillows. David Hogg, right?
That's right. He was going to do his pillows. He's not anymore, but that's what the guy in charge of my pillow, once my pillow guy was off being crazy, the guy should have said, ooh, David's going to make pillows. Let's partner with him. That way we just sell to everybody. We get to put out the Fox News ads and sell to the crazies that like Tucker Carlson, and we can sell to the people that love AOC. We'll just have we'll put my pillow mustache on this pillow and David Hogg picture on this pillow, and then you just sell to everybody. David was right there. They could have reached out and plucked him up. They didn't.
Yes, I think hand of my pillow guy. What you need to do is you take the same company, but you fracture it. You have like he's already got the far right pillows. So you do like corporate right. You do like Chuck Schumer pillows, or not Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell pillows, right? And
or
then
both.
You also have Chuck Schumer pillows, for the corporate Democrats, and then you have like far left pillows who want to like light Portland on fire and stuff like that. You advertise them for sleeping in tents and stuff like that when you're like taking over a park. You do the whole thing, and you fracture your own company into like 4 or 5 different ones. You have like just kind of centrist conspiracy stuff that ain't really right or left. What happened to Tower 7 pillows, but Bigfoot's alive pillows. Again, you advertise that for tents. You have like alien pillows, stuff like that. UFO guys who, I don't know if the UFO guys go right or left. It hasn't really been attached to the political zeitgeist, so to speak. They're just kind of off on their way. And you know what? No matter how crazy stuff is that's rolling around in those heads and the alien people's brains are, they got to lay those heads on pillows. All right. So you got to sell those pillows.
And then this is the important part, because the article talks about it. And I remember reading other articles. You don't go through Walmart, Bed Bath or Beyond, or anyone that won't carry your pillow. Just direct sales. Put it online, myalienpillow.com. Ooh, I believe in aliens. I'm buying that pillow. But it all comes from you don't even have to fracture the company. You just create a bunch of websites, one factory, just like 7 production lines. Each production line has a different picture at the end that stamps the picture.
They don't need to know where it's coming from.
Bigfoot. Yeah. Just put it on direct sales online.
Marketing what?
Amazon. Everything goes through Amazon anyway.
To make them look like different pillow companies.
Yeah, open up an Amazon store.
Yeah,
your wireless sucks when both you and your wife are on at the same time, by the way. I think that's what it is. The fact that you and Amy are doing something online right now is slowing down your internet.
It could be because I'm actually at full bars right now. I think she's done at 5:30. Do you want to try to pick this up then?
All right. Take 3. We're going to Frankenstein this thing together. Everybody looks different. Jake has a different backdrop. I have different clothes.
Lots happened since then.
A lot's happened. I actually, you see the punching bag behind me? Is that, yeah. Yes. I actually exercised for the half an hour between the last attempt and this one. I am sweating so much that I took a 5-minute ice cold shower. And then I got out of the shower and started sweating again. So I've actually had a fan on me for the last 5 minutes waiting for you. Just like, I'm going to start sweating halfway through this. So just a heads up to viewers.
Profusely to BDSM porn for this entire half hour. So we've been similar. I was also getting punched in that.
All right. We'll have time for maybe 1 or 2 more stories. I figure this is a chance for you to shine, Jake, because former member of the military. Almost got that out on the first try. I loved this article right here. Russia is sending I can't talk. Russia is sending disposable shoulders.
Disposable soldiers are the most dangerous kinds. They have
It's
speech
actually,
impediments.
when you try,
and they have no
written
fear
it
of
looks
death.
great. When you try and read it, Russia is sending disposable soldiers to fight Ukraine high on amphetamines to ensure they, quote, still run at machine guns, military expert says. First of all, I love military expert. I want to know if there is any truth to the story, because if so, I love it. It's my favorite story. I can't say it, but it's my new favorite story.
I like, see, the thing is as somebody who's done amphetamines and been shot at by machine guns, if anything, I think if I was cranked out, I'd just run away faster. You know what I mean? I think I'd want to get shot at even less. I'd be sitting there going, "Hey man, you know the real reason we're getting fucking shot at right now? It's all about the lizards that live underneath the Pentagon, or in our case, the Kremlin." And I would just be, me and the other meth heads would just be having even more wild conspiracies than the ones that are actually going on.
I mean, and that's just you sitting around with buddies. Now put yourself in a war zone with the most absurd war zone shit going on around you, and you're fucking high. I mean, who knows what you're going to do? But isn't that what they did in Afghanistan and Iraq? I know that's what they did in Somalia. They would chew on, what was it called, fat, something like that, and then they would be buzzed and fight.
They did. The Afghan army had this stuff called Naswar, and they would chew that on the missions, and it had like opiates and stuff in it. But I'm like, dude, and they would smoke a lot of hash on the mission, and they'd come right up at checkpoints and offer it to us. And I'd be like, dude, I like getting high, but we got shot at here like 2 weeks ago. Like, what do you do? I want to be clear headed for this.
Clear headed to get shot? Don't you think that having opioids in your system pre getting shot might make getting shot feel like not as bad?
No, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about getting shot at is you're not necessarily guaranteed to get shot. In fact, you're probably not going to get shot if you're what? Clear-headed and can duck fast, like that. You don't want to be fucking like, admittedly, the meth may help for that. That said, I think you would have a much higher rate of mutiny, and which they're already having if it was a bunch of methed out guys.
Yeah, well, this article says it came from a captured Russian soldier told CNN earlier this. I can't say fucking any words. A captured Russian soldier told CNN earlier this year that his comrades in Ukraine were high on their supply of painkillers. I said comrades, commanders in Ukraine were high on their supply of painkillers and ordered troops to do dangerous, nonsensical things like run under mortar fire. So this sounds like it's, secondhand hearsay. It said up front, it didn't give, there are no names. It's not the best reporting. I just like it because I think it'd be fun if it was true.
Yeah, I mean, famously, Hitler did that. He had like a lot of the Blitzkrieg, infantrymen and stuff were high on amphetamines, and that was supposed to make them.
I honestly never heard that. I mean, I knew about it in Somalia. Like I said, I knew that the Taliban, they would do something. Not necessarily. I thought they did crank. They did something that got them buzzed up. I never heard it about World War II.
I think the Nazis more or less invented amphetamines. Now, amphetamine is kind of a broad genre of drugs. You know what I mean? A type of drugs, I should say. But yeah, they would have their guys methed out pretty regularly, the Nazis.
Well, and what it says by disposable soldiers here, this is what we've talked about. It's not the guys that started the mutiny. They were prisoners, and they're just being told, hey, you can either sit in prison or you can go fight on the front lines. And some of them choose to, others might just be put there. Like we've seen defectors, but yeah, I don't know. I figure if you're in prison for drugs, you might as well fuck it, I'm going to die anyway. Might as well get hopped up and go fire a gun. Like you said, some of them might be looking at it as fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if the Russians are smart in any way with this, what's up?
What you said is in this goddamn article that I skipped over. British stores used to sell syringes of heroin as gifts for troops during World War I. The Nazis pumped their men full of meth to increase awareness and vigilance on the battlefield. And the U.S. military distributed painkillers and, quote, pep pills, also known as speed, to soldiers headed toward long-range reconnaissance missions during the Vietnam War. And so this is
Yeah.
nothing new. Every single war seems to have a drug, a pill that you take to either take the edge off or like get you more aware. It's like caffeine plus.
How did Hans die in the war? He was shot in the head while scrubbing his rifle vigorously for the 15th hour in a row with a toothbrush with his teeth chattering. Had no
Yeah,
idea who was being fired at, none whatsoever.
yeah. So they, you think the Nazis invented it? Because this is where this article starts. Is World War One syringes. So yeah, drugs and war have gone to hand in
Well,
hand
and
like
in terms
peanut
of
butter and chocolate.
opiates, you don't really want your troops on that at all. I
No,
mean,
because that brings you
that's for like
down.
injuries.
Well, this says they would get it when they would come home. Like, hey, you were just on the front lines. Have some opium. It'll
Oh
probably
yeah,
mellow
well that
you
was
out.
back in the World War One time. So that's 1910s.
Yeah.
That's back when that was just sort of like, are you a housewife with a headache? Have heroin, and that's just the way they did it,
Or they were putting actual cocaine in Coca-Cola, the soft drink.
Right. People were out of their goddamn minds when it came to medicine back in the day. There was no I don't think there was any kind of FDA
No.
regulation. It was just dudes with those wide brim hats and the handlebar mustaches going, do you hate pain? Do you like feeling good? Then take my new miracle pill, and they would just fucking get people hopped up on whatever.
And they weren't wrong. Opioids are going to make your pain go away. I mean, short term, then you're going to
Oh
be
yeah.
hooked on those.
Well, Hitler had a guy who was so one of the biggest problems with Hitler's like military was that a lot of those guys, they didn't really get to be high up because they had necessarily went through the ranks like it was back in the day under the Kaiser. It was so much like there
Buddy
was part
system.
that, but part like you have to be super loyal to
Yeah.
the little party that took over the country that roughly a third, if that, of the people were behind. So it's like what's important first is your allegiance, not just to Germany, but specifically to this party. Whereas everybody before was like, yeah, we're of course we're allied to Kaiser, and look at that's who's ran Germany for a while. So there wasn't huge divisions. I mean, there was political parties within that,
Yeah.
sure, but not like as polarizing as the Nazis were. So he would have guys who were just like fiercely loyal to him, but weren't necessarily the best generals. And one of them was the guy who was in charge of his Air Force was a fucking huge junkie, man. I don't remember this guy's names, but they had like letters from his like direct like underlings and stuff, all freaked out like, oh, this is the guy in charge of us, talking about him like getting briefed in, like they're all sitting in massive meetings with other generals and he's just nodding the fuck off because he is like just strung out of hair like a junkie on the last card in the subway. He's just fucking and just doing the weird heroin, falling asleep while doing like shitty yoga, like that kind of thing. He's doing that, all in his class A's with the other Nazi generals. And it's like, dude, he's too high to even his Z-Kyle arm is all fucking limp, right? It's all weird and crooked. What the fuck, man? He just gave me a like, this guy can't be in charge of the Air Force. But it was like, hey, he was more freaked out about people turning their back on him than them being good,
And then they still fucking dominated and would have continued to dominate had he not gone for a two-front war against England and Russia at the same goddamn time.
All right, man. I mean, yeah, some of the guys knew their shit. It's just the biggest prerequisite was, are you fiercely loyal to this man and his party that doesn't even represent most of Germany? So that right there, you're cutting out most of your, it's sort of like how baseball got way better once they started allowing people that weren't just white. Because it's like, what now you're pulling from all the pools. The Kaiser was pulling from all the cool pools in Germany because it was like that was just that was just Germany. But then a party took over Germany and it was like, hey, you got to be loyal to this party before anything else. And then maybe we'll talk about how good you are at the job. You all right? Oh, man. Tim is like sneezing right now.
I keep muting and sneezing like a motherfucker. I just did 6 in a goddamn row.
Nice.
I hate to say what I'm about to say because it's so cliche and trite, but where in current history in America have we seen that kind of I don't know, same attitude?
Oh, right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Let's not go down that path. It's too
certain
easy.
previous presidents' cabinet members were maybe,
Yeah.
are you more loyal to me than a certain Republican Party? That's going to be the prerequisite for you getting the job.
Yes, and then once they, said anything out of line, it was a revolving door cabinet. Just every single position. You'd never seen turnover like that before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing that this Air Force guy loved more than heroin was Hitler, and those were his two H's. So it's like, hey man, as long as I come before that one, I don't care what your second favorite thing is.
As long as you're on my side. All right, I think we got time for one more story.
Cool.
Let's do this one. Because this is this is an important, interesting story, and I want to ignore everything about it. Gone in 60 seconds at FBI director hearing, Republican conspiracies about Biden go poof. And there's this great video of FBI director, I believe it's Wren testifying, Christopher Wren, and it's an article from USA Today, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and I will put this on YouTube. I will put this on YouTube for the viewers. For some reason, they have a picture of the author of the article sitting on a stool looking like an awkward high school senior getting a glamour shot from a mall in the 1980s. I don't give a fuck about the content of the story. What is this picture doing at the bottom of it? Who thought this was a good idea? I'm going to put the picture on YouTube because it's just out there. Why? Well, the picture is huge. It's bigger than any picture in the article.
It's pretty massive.
It's insane.
It's pretty massive. And here's the thing, I book a lot of authors for my job at Sirius. They don't really do this, man. It's a lot of headshots, And here's the thing. This is a damn good headshot. Take your thumb and like fingers because this is a big picture. But like block out everything except for like mid torso up. Do like from here up. It's a good headshot. You know what I mean? Like he's turned slightly like that. You still see his full face. It's pretty good. Like
there's some shadowing.
All they got to do is fucking crop that, and it'll be fine. Yeah, there's a little bit of shadowing.
The shadowing looks mysterious and good, but then, like you said, it looks like okay as a headshot. But then you keep scrolling, and it keeps going. And like I said, he's sitting on a stool, and he's got his legs spread. He's man spreading. It's called. He's got his hands awkward. It's why is this on a news article? Is what I want to know. Usually, generally at the top, you get written by this person, and I love that it's an opinion piece. It's not actually a news article; it's an opinion piece.
I'm going to start before I read any opinion pieces. I'm going to scroll down to see the author's picture and be like, all right, I just you can't judge a book by its cover, but like if its cover is fucking nutty enough, I'm good.
Then you can question it. You can't judge it, but you can question it. You can throw caution to the wind.
I can at least put an asterisk. This is an asterisk the size of this man's torso that he decided to include for some reason. A massive asterisk goes next to any information that goes into my brain off of the article for someone who chose to put this as their profile picture. Yes.
And what editor allowed it? And it just this is the thing I talk about with like the problem with the news media where editors are gone and everyone's understaffed and overworked. This would not have made it out of committee back in the day.
No, and it's an easy fix. You don't even need to get a new picture. All you got to do is crop that motherfucker and you're good.
But here we are, and this I want to if I had the time, but I have to go. I would measure it because I'm just going to do it by hand. I cannot get so I've got my fingers about yay apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. The article is the thing is 1/4 of the article is the guy's picture. That's how big the picture is at the bottom. You've got words, and then a gap, this big picture of a dude sitting on a stool. Well, thank you for that.
It looks like it's pretty high res. I mean, sometimes you can't really zoom in on photos because it gets all pixelated and shit.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case with this one, man. All they would have had to do is crop that, and it would have been a good author's photo. It would have looked normal. I don't know what the hell this guy's going for here.
Yeah, it's good times. All right, Jake, I am going to Frankenstein these 3 segments of talking with your lovely self together.
I wouldn't even buy a pillow from this fucking guy. That's how bad this photo is. And I'll buy a pillow from anyone on the market selling pillows, and I do mean anyone right now.
I own a cube pillow. If you, it's for side sleepers. If you sleep on your side, Google Cube Pillow. They are not endorsing us, but
Oh, I thought you said Q Pillow. I was like,
Cube.
Q selling pillows now?
They're not sponsoring us. I'm endorsing them, but they're not sponsoring me. They're not giving us any money.
Cool. I like
Anyway,
his memory foam ones.
find Jake at Jake Vevra, the symbol Jake Vevra on all the socials. Find me at nathantimmel.com. And yeah, we had a 500 plus episode streak without missing one. 500 more episodes, and then Jake can pass out and wake up in a hospital again. All right, buddy, be good. I'll talk to you next week.
Later.